fantastic win for the Adelaide Crows. Rory Sloane, their most recent hero. Tonight was an inspiring win for his team. Let's get down to Erin.
Thanks, guys. Tex, fantastic win. I know you love the showdowns, and you started this game off on fire.
Yeah, I say it all the time, every time there's a showdown, that no matter where we are on the ladder, it's always a great contest, and tonight was that. So we're able to stick at it, and they fought back a few times, but we were able to hold our nerve and able to get the win in the end.
A special night. We celebrated your great mate, a great man of the club, Rory Sloane. You played 199 games together. How much did it mean to celebrate him tonight, and was it talked about much pre-game?
Yeah, it was. We touched on it. I might get a little bit emotional here, but yeah, I love him and his beautiful family, you know. So to not be able to play again with him, it's tough, but I think he's made the right decision for life after footy, and he's got a beautiful family. So what he's been able to do in those 255 games, not just the Crows fans, but the footy world have been so lucky to be able to see a beautiful man play football in the right spirit. So, yeah, it's a great win for a great man.
I think you've done him proud tonight. He would have loved that win from you boys, so go celebrate for him.
Thanks, Flip. Thanks.
Shawnee, what about you?
Hey, mate, you're just talking off camera about how good this feeling is and how good the game was. How do you feel after it?
I'm pretty tired, Shawnee. Fought a pretty good round of the contest, but we let him get their ball in the forward half for probably the first half. And then we played a bit more of a contested game second half, and you know, when we do it like that, we're able to get him out the back.
You had a really unbelievable start, kicked 5 straight. That must get you feeling really good.
Yeah, mate, look, we haven't really done that this year, to be honest. We've always been on the back foot, and to actually come out like that and actually hit a team before they hit us is actually nice. So put us in a good spot, and we're able to run out with a win.
And Tex just spoke about Sloaney, what he means to the club, and it'd be remiss of me not to ask you, what does he mean to you and the club as well?
Oh, mate, it's just unbelievable. It's kind of hard just to sit here, and you've had a lot of time with Sloaney as well, playing against him, and very honest player, culture of our club, and did it for him tonight, and he would have liked the way we played about it tonight.
No worries, mate. Get over with your teammate. Enjoy the win.
Thanks, Shawnee. Good to see you, brother.
Satisfaction everywhere, isn't there? Even Daisy's in on it down there with Rory Sloane and Joel Selwood as well. They would have had a number of duels in the middle of the ground over the years, but led at every change. The Adelaide Crows won every quarter, BT, by 8 at quarter time, 19 at the half, 23 at three-quarter time, and ultimately by 30 points in the end. It gets their season going. It's felt like Adelaide's starting to build into the season, but when you win a game like that, a big game like that, that must do wonders for the entire team's confidence and the psychology around the club.
Yeah, because they have battled. They lost their first 4, then that win against Carlton, a close one, a close loss to Essendon, of course, and then back with the North win down in Tassie last week, and then tonight was fantastic. All right, let's get down for the presentation to ground level.
Ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, it is with great pleasure that we now present the Variety Showdown Shield and Showdown Medal. Variety, the children's charity of South Australia, has joined with both the Adelaide Football Club and the Port Adelaide Football Club to help make a greater impact on the lives of local children in need. This partnership sees both clubs compete to hold up the prestigious Variety Showdown Shield. The Showdown Medal will be presented to the player judged best of field in tonight's game. We're joined by Variety SA Chair Sally Paik and Variety Scholarship participant Jessam Hayal to present tonight's Showdown Medal and Showdown Shield. And the winner of the Showdown Medal from the Adelaide Football Club is Jake Saligo.
Yeah, cheers to Port Adelaide, always a great contest, and cheers to the boys. Thanks for everyone coming out. Cheers.
Congratulations, Jake. I'd now like to invite Captain Jordan Dawson from the Adelaide Football Club to be presented with the Showdown Shield.
Just want to say thanks to Port Adelaide. It's always a great contest. Thanks to our fans. You guys always show out for us. We love playing here in front of you guys. Thanks to Variety. They do such great work in the community. Well done to our boys. Awesome game tonight. It's a bloody good feeling.
Congratulations to the winners of Showdown 55, the Adelaide Football Club.
Well, there you have it. Congratulations to the Adelaide Crows. They win the 55th Showdown here in South Australia in front of a sold-out Adelaide Oval. Dale, they moved to 3 wins, 5 losses, back-to-back wins over the last couple of weeks. They're starting to get on a roll.
Yeah, they are. We talked about it a bit in the pre-game, just what that win against the Blues did for them in their season, setting it up. And after a really slow start, they've been poor. They were unlucky against the Bombers, very good last week. It just feels like they're starting to believe, and their system tonight, Joel, is what got them the win.
Yeah.
They comprehensively outplayed Port Adelaide, especially on the spread.
Absolutely, good point. They took good marks across the ground. They broke up the game really well, but their work ethic off the ball to make sure that they could even the numbers up in their forward line. And on many occasions, and we saw in that first quarter too, I'm sure we'll talk to the guys about it, but they got the goals over the top, which is really hard to do against Port Adelaide.
No doubt. Rory Sloane very, very happy with what he's seen from his Crows tonight. But Joel Soligo, Showdown medalist, 27 disposals, 10 tackles. You must have loved his game.
Pretty easy choice in the end. I look forward to hopefully having a chat with him, a young kid that's just finding out about his game, but he's becoming a really important player for him in that contest. But the way that he got his hands on the ball early, and Dale and I talked about throughout the telecast, that it was more that he turns with the ball forward in his hand. So he's creating play already by doing that, taking up the opposition. And at the cold face, he was really important in it.
He's clean with his ball and hand when he picks it up from ground level. But the toughness tonight, his hardness at the footy, he's just everything you want from a midfielder. I saw him fly into a couple of contests there and just look across, and you sort of just nodding your head in appreciation for how hard he was going at it.
And Taylor Walker, very emotional post-game, talking about his great mate, Rory Sloane. They both, of course, captained this wonderful football club. They had 199 games of football together. They really have gone from boys to men along this journey, Dale.
Yeah, absolutely, and, you know, we continue to do this with players throughout time. The longer they go on in their careers, it just shows what the bonds you make in football clubs.
Let's get to Erin Phillips. She's got a very happy Crows skipper with her.
I do, Abby. Jordan, fantastic game from you boys tonight. You started off really well. They made a few runs, but you're able just to slow them up and play your game.
Yeah, I mean, it's good to actually string out. I can't even hear, so it's good to string our brand of footy together for a couple of weeks now. And they know how we play, we know how they play. So the contest was crucial for us tonight, and I feel like that was probably as good a four-quarter performance as I can remember since being here. So it's a great feeling.
Speaking about this crowd, I think it was the 3rd highest Showdown crowd ever. How much did they lift you guys tonight?
Oh, they're unbelievable. I mean, the roar that you get when you run out, and then after every goal, especially when we start like we did, you just get an extra 10%. I don't know, it's one of the best fields to play in front of in the country for sure, and you know better than anyone. It's unbelievable, 50-odd thousand here, so couldn't ask for a better night.
Rory Sloane is a man of tonight, and it was a great tribute to him. What has he taught you as a skipper?
Oh, he's just taught me to be myself. He's probably the most authentic leader I've ever met, and probably the most kind and generous human you can ever come across. But then when he steps on this field, he's just an absolute warrior, and I had admired him for years growing up, and to play alongside of him, and then to be under his leadership, and then to also captain him and learn off him. He's been massive for me. Him and Tex have been unbelievable to be captain under them, and going to miss him, but he'll be around for the rest of the year, so we'll probably have to kick him out at the end of the season.
Well, who would have been proud of that performance tonight? Go celebrate with him. Well done, Jordan.
Thanks, Aaron. Cheers.
Hey, Isaac, you said you're cooked. You just did a half a lap celebrating with all the fans. You must love this.
Yeah, it's great. Obviously, home crowd here. Got to get around him. Lucky enough we won, and it's great support.
Talk us through the Eddie Betts pocket over there. You kicked another right foot snap. It's going to be yours very soon.
I don't know. I just put it on the boot. It went through. I thought it hit the post a bit.
And what about your last goal here, where you grabbed the ball? There were 3 Port players around you, took them on, and just iced the game.
I knew it was sort of coming towards the end of the game, and everyone's a bit fatigued. I just thought I'd put the Jets on and saw the big sticks. Yeah.
No worries. Thanks very much, mate. Go enjoy the win.
No worries. Thanks everyone watching. Appreciate it.
3 goals for Isaac Rankin here tonight. He is a walking highlights reel.
It's brilliant. He loves the big moments. We spoke about him a lot throughout the broadcast and pre-game. He just has a sense of the occasion. He's brilliant.
Special scenes at ground level. Rory Sloane, 255 games, 16 seasons here at the Adelaide Football Club. You've both gone through it, your retirements. Unfortunately here for Rory, it's not on his terms, but a wonderful, wonderful leader of this football club.
Yeah, and he's going to miss it. You can tell that through his retirement speech throughout the week. And he's going to enjoy tonight, obviously, and be really grateful for everything that's been put on. But there will be times where he will feel pretty out of it, to be honest. But hopefully the cheer that he's about to get with the team, and I'm sure he's going to sing the song, it'll be a great moment for him.
I don't think I've ever seen so many people in the Adelaide change rooms in a post-match. It is absolutely pumping down here. Sam Mack is here, of course, a big Adelaide Crows supporter, bringing in the A-listers, but Taylor Walker, Jordan Dawson, Dan Curtin in his debut game, leading this side in for their 3rd win of season 2024. This one is going to be sung with absolute gusto.
Yeah, it was. He won't forget that too. I'm sure he would have loved to stay on the ground, and there's been big talk about what we do with the sub. Hopefully it nearly does go to 5. You would love the first game to stay out there for the rest of the game.
He was composed though. They brought him off, obviously, the tall backline that they had, what not required in that last quarter, but the possessions he had throughout the game, he was mighty composed. Didn't look out of place whatsoever, did some really nice things, and that's a career that he'll be able to continue to build on week in, week out.
It's a good point, though. I think what the coaches had in mind tonight was just we're going to get the detail right time and time again. So when it got to the end of the quarter, they made the move to bring Brodie Smith on.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, here is Jackie Saligo joining us.
What's going on?
Showdown medalist, and Showdown wins, they just hit that little bit different, don't they?
Yeah, absolutely. It's always good to beat Port. And yeah, the fans showed up tonight, which is pleasing.
Talk to us about the rivalry, the build-up, the week. You guys don't like each other. It's well publicised, well advertised, but it's an epic week to be a part of here for footy lovers in South Australia.
Yeah, absolutely. During the week, it's a lot of clout around it. So, no, we love it. We love being a part of it, and the boys just love getting the win, especially for Sloaney, his retirement. We've got Crouchy 150 and obviously Dan debuting, so super proud of the boys.
What has Sloaney done for your game, mate? To be honest, you look like a carbon copy of what Sloaney did for a number of years.
Yeah, when I first got drafted, he was always the one inviting me over to his house. He's one of the most selfless guys I've ever met. So, yeah, it's just nice to get the win for him. And, yeah, hopefully I can learn a bit more off him. He's going to be around the club still, so yeah.
Your game seems to be going from strength to strength. Is there anything you've changed throughout the pre-season, or just a bit more continuity, a bit more luck with that body?
Yeah, it's nice to just get in the midfield a bit more. Yeah, and I did a lot of mindset stuff in the off-season with our new psychologist, Rosie. She's been great for me, so yeah, just working on that side of my game, and yeah, it's been good.
Is that more about staying present in the moment, not worrying about outcomes, more process-driven?
Yeah, absolutely, and definitely goal setting as well. I remember last year I set goals that were probably not achievable, so yeah, just sort of taking each week and just keep going.
They were your Nurofen fast-acting highlights there. Very impressive game for you here tonight, but now the boys back-to-back wins, a solid performance in Tassie, 58 points, and now a big Showdown win. Do you just get the sense that this group is starting to get your season back on track?
Yeah, absolutely. It's nice to sort of stop people from talking in the media, but yeah, no, it's good. It's good to just chip away at it and keep going. So yeah.
And for you personally, you signed a long-term deal, locked away until 2029 after just 29 games. You must be super comfortable and confident with where the group's heading.
Yeah, absolutely. I signed on because I love the group. They've been super good to me, moving over, obviously a Victoria boy. So yeah, and Riley O'Brien took me into his house, and he was a big part of why I signed on, and all these boys have been great.
What about your back line? A lot of players that are probably guessed don't really get the accolades or aren't talked about as much as other back lines. They were mighty impressive tonight in what they've done, and arguably on the season as well.
Absolutely. We got a few good boys, haven't even played 15 games yet, so it's just nice that they're stepping up. We had Nate down there today. He was great, I thought. Josh Worrell, Mark Keane, all those boys stepping up, which is nice.
You know, the best thing about a win like this in a showdown where you get to own the town for the weekend at least, you get to go to breakfast tomorrow where the Port Adelaide boys are probably eating at home.
Yeah, mate, it's always nice to wake up with a win, definitely.
Where has the medal gone?
Yeah.
Oh, it's in me jock somewhere. I was running around the oval, so I didn't want to lose it.
Yeah, we won't go to air on that,
yes.
But congratulations on that, mate. Great game tonight.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
Well done.
Cheers.
Go and enjoy.
Thank you very much.
Great
Cheers.
to see you.
Cheers, guys.
Great stuff. Thank you, mate. Well done.
What a superstar. Great person, great human.
Yeah.
Locked away to the 2029 season. Crows will be absolutely wrapped at that.
Yeah, and you love the fact that Riley O'Brien, an older player, a leader of the footy club, bringing him into it. And look at this. Footy, oh, what a feeling, you betcha. The older you get, the more you appreciate it.
Big night for the Adelaide Football Club. 30-point winners over Port Adelaide. Back on the other side.
Oldest rivalry in the game will explode. The Friday night blockbuster to prove there are rivalries, and then there are rivalries. Then
he pulls the trigger and goes bang!
On Saturday night, Demons and Cats in a top 4 pressure test.
Perfect!
2 blockbusters start with Friday Night Footy, live and free on 7.
7 News doesn't just bring you the news. This is where news breaks.
Caught on camera, woman's destructive rampage.
Fighting back tears as he broke the news to teammates.
Ferocious blaze destroyed their home.
We strive to ensure you know the complete story.
Know the news with 7 News.
They use fake ads featuring real celebrities to scam over 600,000 Aussies every year.
Yeah, it was pretty damn stupid, wasn't it?
Someday, this scammer working on the inside is going to help us bring them down.
I didn't care if you die or not.
See what happens when we turn the tables from inside their Philippines headquarters.
It is blood money.
All new Spotlight, Sunday.
Remember, stay focused. We're just here for a tow ball.
A Toyota genuine tow ball?
Dad, here it is.
Designed and tested by Toyota.
Wait a sec. Hilux is in stock. Oh. Nice floor mats.
There are oh so many reasons to visit your local Toyota dealer, with Hilux stock available now. Toyota.
Jack, footy doesn't just happen by itself. It's made by fans like you and me.
It's made by the fans that drive them around, wash the Guernseys, and cut the oranges that turn our little people into AFL superstars.
Footy is built on loose shoelaces, parental pep talks, and emergency mouth guards. Oh my God, what is that?
Yui, official partner of footy fans.
At Coles, we're on a mission to help inspire Aussie kids to eat better and to get active too. Which is why we're proudly sponsoring kids' sports programs all over the country, like Coles Healthy Kicks.
Aw, thank you, Tom.
It's a great way to get kids moving and to support local communities. Coles, proud partner of the AFL, AFLW and Healthy Kicks.
I love a sunburnt country. A land of sweeping plains. Of ragged mountain ranges. Of drought and flooding rains. When the lucky country isn't so lucky,
Lucky you're with Amy.
Even for Lockie Neal, offloading possessions isn't as easy as it seems. At Cash Converters, you can get cash on the spot in as little as 10 minutes. Cash Converters, making more of the things you want possible.
Is this a pointless ad?
well, if you're not an existing Telstra customer, it is.
Stupid ad.
Repco's new catalogue is out now, where you'll get 25% off Nava Performance Halogen Globe upgrade kits and 25% off Maguire's Car Care. Catalogue out now, only at Repco.
Iron deficiency can leave you feeling run down, clogged up. Switch to Multifer, a therapeutic formula clinically proven to correct iron deficiency with less constipation. Move to Multifer and
The Toyota AFL Premiership season is brought to you by Telstra. This is Footy Country.
Some added emotion with a debutant and a retirement of Rory Sloane. They led at every change, 8 at the first, 9 at the half, 19 at the half, and run out 30-point winners here this evening. And this will be hot property, there's no doubt about that, to celebrate Rory Sloane's 16 years of courage, class, leadership. You can secure this strictly limited piece that honours his stunning career. He has personally signed it, of course. So make sure you head to officialmemorabilia.com.au to secure that for your living room. And we have a very special guest with us. We've been very excited to have a chat to Mark Keane off the back of a solid performance down back for the Crows. Congratulations on the win tonight, very impressive.
Oh, thank you. It was great to get over the line. I suppose we were just trying to get 2 wins in a row. We haven't really done that in a while, so it was just important to get 2 wins in a row.
You must be really pleased with the way that your backline held up, particularly in that opening term. Put Adelaide a lot of inside 50s, but they weren't able to capitalise.
Yeah, I suppose when everyone says we're inexperienced, but we have some great friends in around the club. We get on really well, and we've really good chemistry down back, so we work really well together.
Can you tell us a little bit about the players that you're playing around? These young players that we don't know much of, but a Thursday night footy is perfect to put them in the limelight.
And in the likes of who?
the guy at the backline players.
Worrell, Hinge.
Yeah, no, it's great.
Curtin
Like Worrell, Hinge, McElhaney, Butsy, really solid. Dan Curtin coming in for his first game today. No, I could keep going on. Even Borlace last week. Didn't step a foot wrong last week. And then just anyone that comes in, he just steps up forward.
And your own form, what do you put that down to? Because you've had an outstanding start to the year.
I'd say when I was at Collingwood, I never went home for Christmas. I always went home for Christmas and always went home. But I stayed at home. I stayed in Australia this Christmas. I kind of just put down my head. Just wanted to get it right, and I had a full pre-season under my belt.
You had the 17 disposals here as we have a look at your possession heat map on the Telstra tracker. 10 intercept possessions. For somebody who hasn't grown up with the game, you seem to read the cues of the kicker. Your timing of when to come off an intercept is really good. Is that something that's come naturally or you've worked on?
I think when I was at Collingwood, Darcy Moore kind of taught me a lot of just to kind of come off and intercept a lot, and mock and plug, he used to call it. But yeah, that's kind of where I learned it at Collingwood, and kind of just brought it over here to Adelaide.
No better teacher is there than Darcy Moore in that aspect. But you debuted in a showdown, round 20 last year. What have you learnt since coming over here to South Australia, a two-team town, debuting in such a big game? What have you picked up with showdown footy here?
Footy in South Australia is absolutely huge. I know it's huge in Melbourne, but I think it's huge here in Adelaide as well. And I think a lot of people recognise you, and we have some great fans out there as well.
Did you give any advice to Dan Curtin, also debuting in a showdown clash?
Not too sure. I'm very inexperienced in that kind of stuff, so I was just said I'd have his back no matter what tonight.
Love that.
Now, Mark, you have a couple of friends that have made it out here this morning, I believe.
Yeah, I had two lads out from Ireland this morning. So.
All right, well, make sure they behave over the weekend. But more importantly, how do you explain this game to them? The goal umpires, the ball, everything that goes with Australian football.
So they'd never actually ever seen a game before, only on TV, and we got them over to finally watch a game. But it's kind of they used to watch all the international rules, so they kind of understand like the tackling and stuff. I suppose there's just little rules with holding the ball, and out in the full. They kind of don't really understand that kind of stuff. So I kind of have to sit down and teach them that kind of stuff.
Very good.
I was speaking to an old coach of yours, Matty Boyd, about how you went at the Pies, but he told me that Tarkin Lockyer was the one who taught you how to kick the ball. Yeah. A very good teacher, a very efficient kick himself, but now you are trusted with kick-ins as well.
Yeah, no better teacher than Matty Boyd and Tarkin Lockyer, who put a lot of work into me. They would have to be very patient with me. I didn't even know how to kick the footy back in 2019. So, I suppose just keep growing on all the kick-ins and everything.
Matty did say, though, you're very diligent, great to work with, and he put in brackets there, enjoys a Guinness, a popular teammate. Is that still the case?
Yeah, I'll definitely be having a Guinness tonight, that's for sure.
You are from Cork in Ireland.
Yeah.
For all of our viewers at home, just talk us through your journey, because it has been sensational to watch over the last few years.
Yeah, I've kind of had a roller coaster of a journey. I got drafted by Collingwood, stayed there for three years. I got kind of homesick, went back home for 18 months. Did kind of thought I had a stone left unturned in the AFL, so I said, geez, I'll give it another shot back out here. And lucky enough, I came to Adelaide, and it's kind of worked out very good so far.
How did that actually work out? Was it a phone call made back to a manager here, or?
I actually done a bit of work on Marty Clark. You would have played with him. I would have kept in contact with Marty nearly every week, and he would have been pushing for me to go back every week, and I was always pushing back on it, but I kind of just decided to give it another shot to come back out.
How much did the time at home make that decision easier? Was it a case of that, going back home, feeling, okay, this is great, but...
Yeah, well, I grew heaps. I think I really matured over them 18 months, and I think I really realised what it takes to be a professional athlete. So, that's what I took when I came back out.
Well, Mark Keane, congratulations on a fantastic personal performance, but a team performance as well. We'll let you go and enjoy these rooms because they are absolutely pumping.
Cheers. Thanks, William. Cheers, lads.
Let's get to Shawnee Burgoyne with Ollie Rhines.
Thanks, Daisy. Cheers.
Well done.
Thanks, Ollie, for joining me. It's always a disappointing feeling after a loss against Crows.
Yeah, it certainly is. Look, these two games every year are built up, and obviously it's the state showdown, and it's really disappointing to win this one. Obviously we had plenty of opportunities going forward. We know they're such an efficient team when they do win the ball and go forward, and they showed that tonight. They were able to generate a lot of intercepts in our back 50 and turn it to score, so credit to them.
riding on the emotion of Rory Sloane's farewell to the Crows, the faithful. They kicked 5 straight to your 3-4, so just some missed opportunities in the first quarter to set up the game?
Yeah, certainly. I think the 2 Fogarty goals to start, we'd like our time again, and momentum in footy is so important, and sometimes the first couple of goals can be the tail of the match. So we've got to come out and not just focus on the first quarter, but consistency throughout the whole game, and try to get a conversion up. So it wasn't our night tonight. We've got to learn and move forward from it, and go again next week.
So you win the clearances and the inside 50s, but the efficiency going forward, for the connection between the mids and the forwards, wasn't quite there tonight, but it's something to take out of the game?
Yeah, certainly. But to be honest, it's probably never been an issue for us getting the ball inside 50 and winning it from clearance. It is that efficiency that often lets us down. So we'll go back to the drawing board, see where we can improve. But look, they were pretty terrific in their intercept game and generating that +1 to help out their defenders. And obviously they're going back to school.
No worries. Thanks for joining me, mate.
Thanks, Sean.
Thank you, Shawnee, and thank you very much to Ollie Wines. He hit the nail on the head. 5 goals, 18. Efficiency, just the Achilles heel of the Port Adelaide Football Club here tonight. Quick break. On the other side, we have got all of the footy news coming out of the last 24 hours, and we'll also catch up with both coaches' presses.
7 is your home of horse racing every Saturday afternoon.
And they're racing.
See the champions of the turf.
This is a demolition job. Pride of Jenny.
The stars of the saddle on iconic tracks, making legendary moments. Every Saturday, the best races. One channel, 7 horse racing.
In the most romantic week of Farmer, they'll put their hearts on the line for a chance at forever.
To the future.
You don't even want to be here.
I'm a bit sick of being blindsided, to be honest.
In a roller coaster week,
Okay.
a new farmer arrives.
Holy moly.
Farmer Wants a Wife. Sunday, 7 o'clock.
Is this a pointless ad?
Well, if you're not an existing Telstra customer, it is.
To Chemist Warehouse this Mother's Day and get Calvin Klein Euphoria for Women 100ml $59.99. Jimmy Choo 100ml $69.99. Or Dolce & Gabbana for Women Light Blue 100ml $79.99. Chemist Warehouse, the real house of fragrances.
Renewable electricity when the conditions are right. Backed up by gas-powered electricity when they're not. Australian natural gas power plants are an important backup when conditions aren't ideal for renewables and demand is high, because natural gas can be turned on or off on demand. That's how Australian natural gas helps keep the country running. Authorised by S. McCulloch, Australian Energy Producers Limited, Canberra.
2023 was a year of firsts for Ford Ranger. #1 selling vehicle. And Ranger Raptor was #1 at Think. Make Ranger Raptor your #1 today at your local Ford dealer. Try Hungry Jack's new Bourbon Street Whopper with crispy onion rings and bourbon barbecue sauce. Or fall in love with Bourbon Street Jack's Fried Chicken. New Bourbon Street Jack's Fried Chicken and Whopper. The burgers are better at Hungry Jack's.
With an end of financial year mates rate of 4.99% with no deposit from Ram Trucks Finance. Now's the time to get into a new Ram with unrivaled Hemi V8 power. See your Ram dealer today.
Best sheds up to 40% cheaper. Double garages $4,990. Triple garages $8,600. 4-car garage $7,250. Our 30% off sale is on right now at Best Sheds. American barns from $8,900. Farm sheds $11,990. Industrial buildings only $18,600. Call Best Sheds on 1800 15 17 18 or check out our range at bestsheds.com.au.
Renewable electricity when the conditions are right. Backed up by gas-powered electricity when they're not. Australian natural gas power plants are an important backup when conditions aren't ideal for renewables and demand is high, because natural gas can be turned on or off on demand. That's how Australian natural gas helps keep the country running. Authorised by S. McCulloch, Australian Energy Producers Limited, Canberra.
The Toyota AFL Premiership season is brought to you by the all-new, all-electric Toyota BZ4X. Oh, what a feeling, Toyota. Clangers happen. Lucky you're with Amy. Harvey Norman. Shop in-store or at hn.com.au. Macca's. Feed the team with 24 chicken McNuggets. And Bunnings Warehouse. Kick your garden goals with the lowest prices.
Will that be a mark of the year? Yeah, nah. Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
Well, it is at the moment. We can't forecast what's going to happen.
Adam, don't give me.
Guys.
You honestly think someone will beat that?
Yeah, maybe. You never know.
Just to hit that check side banana, whichever you want to call it, that's for me the goal assist of the year.
Well, I think it's disappointing. I mean, he's obviously hasn't been working on his left foot for any of his life. I mean, that is just a regulation left foot drop punt that goes to the top of the goal square. Work on your craft, Bobby. Not good enough.
Catch the Armchair Experts Friday night on 7 and 7+.
Oh, we love this one. The Carlton draft, long live the snap. And Dale Thomas, I'm going to hand it straight over to you. Call this one through for us.
Two of my favourite things, Carlton draft and snaps. And look at that one. Isaac Rankin declaring this is my pocket. But just the poise to get it, knowing which way his body was shaped, but then to put the ball down, hit the check side flush.
Oh, yes.
Get it curling left to right.
The swag on him as well. That was
love the way he
traditionally
goes about it.
the Eddie Betts pocket. But there is Isaac Rankin just saying, I'm here now, Joel. I'm here.
Yep, I think Eddie's only had a lease on it and hand over to Isaac now.
Well, Adelaide certainly did set themselves up beautifully, didn't they? That opening term, 5 goals from their 9 inside 50s.
It was set up by the first 5 minutes, to be honest. The first 2 minutes, Darcy Fogarty, the way that he took those marks inside 50, but the work that they did in and around the stoppage, they wanted to get up and then get back.
And Dale, we just met Dan Curtin's beautiful mum. She's come over here from WA. Yep. She's pointed out her other son as well, 16, almost taller than Dan, but they look like a very, very athletic family.
The scary thing is he plays half-back, so he's 198, I think, centimetres, and he has the potential to get up through the wing and potentially through the midfield as well. He's there with a couple of his teammates who came over from Claremont, who he won the premiership with in the Colts last year after the Waffle side got knocked out in the seniors. Just a lump of a lad.
Abby, that is his younger brother, who is 16 in the grey jumper, believe it or not.
He's good size. No doubt Adelaide will have their eyes on him, I should say. Now, let's get to Theo Doropoulos from the 7 newsroom. Theo, you've got all of today's news for us.
Well, good evening, Abby. You've got to feel for AFL coaches these days, usually fending off questions about selections or results. Today, a little different for Luke Beveridge. He responded to Bombers big man Sam Draper's claims that Bulldogs players would leave if the coach remained at the helm. Now, Beveridge called the scenario bizarre and revealed Essendon has reached out, including Draper, to offer him a personal apology. On field, some familiar faces back. Tom Liberatore and Jamara Ugle-Hagan return, plus pick 24 in the 2022 draft. Charlie Clark from Sandringham will make his AFL debut. There's been a bit of heat on at Arden Street. Alistair Clarkson hitting back at claims the Roos could be run out of town, with club presidents reportedly opposed to having 19 teams. The Premiership Master instead talking up the Northern Territory as the league's best bet for a 20th side. Now, Cam Zerha's lifted the lid on his future. He's in the spotlight, admitting he is feeling the pressure of his major free agency call. There's a big watch on Jai Simpkin and Luke Davies-Uniacke, both trained but are sore. There are no guarantees to face the Saints unless they get through the session tomorrow. Jimmy Webster will return after that pre-season hit on Jai Simpkin. It's an enormous weekend of footy coming up on Saturday night on 7. It's the D's and the Cats. Geelong undefeated but without Patrick Dangerfield following another hamstring issue, while the D's are rolling after last week's win over Richmond. But the game of the round, of course, Friday night at the G, and a massive crowd expected to watch arch rivals Carlton and Collingwood face off. Adam Cerra back for the Blues after a hamstring, but how about Collingwood's Lockie Sullivan? The 26-year-old, a two-time VFL best and fairest winner at Footscray, considered a return to local footy before being thrown a lifeline by the Pies. Now he will debut on the game's biggest stage in front of 90,000 fans. You wouldn't have it any other way. It's one you can't miss, of course. It's all live and free right here on 7 tomorrow night, Abby.
Thank you, Theo. Appreciate it. As always, that story tomorrow night at the MCG, 90,000+ for a debut with Lockie Sullivan. We cannot wait for that. But boys, round 8, it has got blockbusters and big rivalries everywhere.
It certainly does, and no bigger than tomorrow night. Joel, which way are you leaning?
I'm probably leaning towards Carlton. I just liked what Michael Voss did off the back of last week, and I think they're going to come out really hungry.
How good is the Battle of the Bridge going to be? Big brother v little brother.
Second v third.
The Giants are flying. I'm going to lean towards the Giants in this one.
Yeah, they were really hot last week. I'll go with you there, Dave. St Kilda, North Melbourne, probably in St Kilda's.
Yeah, well,
corner.
with Theo reporting that there's a few knocked up from North Melbourne, hard to go past the Saints. Essendon, if they produce what they did against the Pies, they should be too good for
Harley Reid's back.
Oh, yes.
You sure?
Completely changed my tip.
Hallelujah.
Melbourne and the Cats, Saturday night, MCG.
Again, fourth v first. How good is this
awesome.
going to be? Oh, yeah, I don't have to ask. Melbourne for me. Fremantle, Richmond, good game again. Richmond a chance. Fremantle should be.
They haven't been to the MCG for a while, Fremantle, so they've got to make the most of it.
The Western Bulldogs, ever inconsistent, coming up the Hawks, who were very poor last week. You'd imagine the Bulldogs in that one. Hard to tip Hawthorn on what they produced last week.
And then the Q clashes. It's an interesting time on a Sunday afternoon, but they've got a public holiday, I'm told, on the Monday, so expect that to be a massive one.
A tip?
I'll go with the Suns.
Well, I'm giving Brisbane one last chance.
Love that. Some cracking games of footy coming your way across round 8. Let's get to Matty Nix and Jake Saligo.
Yeah, just before we, talk footy, I think it's important that I speak about why we came together at the start of the game and united as two teams. And I guess what we were looking to do there was use our platform to bring an awareness to equality, respect for women, and to basically say, when it comes to domestic violence, enough's enough. And so that's why the groups came together at the start of the game.
Over to you guys. Nixie, did that feel like a performance and maybe a result that's been coming for a few weeks now and that you've had to work for a lot all year, but it all sort of came together tonight?
Yeah, it was. We've been sitting together and talking about it. The players, we feel that was a really good performance, well-rounded. We talk about by design. We're up against a very good side. We knew the game had to play out a certain way, and we were able to get it to do that. So it may have looked scrappy on the telly, and it couldn't have been more perfect from our point of view. Really pleasing all-round performance.
So that was a deliberate ploy to make it a bit scrappy?
Oh, as I mentioned, the team we played against are a very, very good football side, and there was a way we wanted to go in and get the game. We started really well. I thought we threw the first punch, and that sort of set us up. We had the ascendancy from that point, which made a few things challenging for our opposition, and then it was a grind. We knew they'd come, and they have done that against every side they've come up against. So, but for our guys to just dig in and get it done in the end, it was really pleasing. I thought it was a really mature performance.
It seems like you had a lot of success early on, especially with countering Port Adelaide in a way. Was that a kind of a weakness that you identified coming into the game?
No, not a weakness. No, it's a strength of ours. If we stick to our values and we understand, when it's time to go and when it's time, maybe to take a little less risk. We're a very good side, and I thought tonight the balance of that was spot on. we played the game really well depending on the scenario. So that's probably the reason I'm so pleased for the group, because it was a really mature performance, one that takes more than just crashing in and winning contests. It takes actually understanding and having a connection or cohesion as a group. So a big step forward for us.
Given there's such a territory team and that's part of their thing, what do you think you were able to just kind of come out the other side, come out the other end of them and kind of surge, with surge footy?
I think they had us in the territory for majority of the night. Again, a weapon of theirs, and sometimes you've got to come in with a plan that you feel's going to be able to keep you in the game or get the result for you in the end. And tonight we did that.
What can that type of win on that type of night do for the side going forward?
Oh, it's just belief. The belief's there, but it's probably one Solly might be able to talk about as a young player. You can believe in yourselves, but it's when you actually have results and outcomes that go your way because of the way you've gone about it. It's more reinforcing. You learn so much from when you lose games of footy, but when you win them in a way that you went into the game with, it's even more rewarding and brings a lot more belief. So from our point of view, we came into the game tonight. We're not worried about the record, how many wins and losses we'd had, but we knew we were playing some decent footy. Tonight just backs that up for us. And I think I've mentioned it before. It's amazing, the difference between coming off and winning and losing, the feeling in the rooms, and I think the boys are a bit up and about.
Matthew Nicks wrapped with what his side delivered here tonight. The hunt, the intensity early, but then the maturity of the group to maintain.
Yeah, well, that was it. It was a four-quarter performance. I don't think they've probably put that out there for all four quarters yet this season. So building off the back of last week, and will give them great confidence going forward.
Well, Dale, these are the matches to come for the Adelaide Crows, and interestingly, 10 out of their last 16 games are right here at home at the Adelaide Oval.
Which is a massive up for them. Brisbane and Collingwood in the next two. It's going to be mighty tough, but the Brisbane Lions, they're right for the picking, and the Pies are a touch banged up too. So if they can produce what they did tonight, they give themselves better than a 50-50 chance going into that one. And then West Coast and Hawthorn, they'd be expected on what they did tonight to be getting the win there. But as we've seen, you've got to bring your best effort week in, week out in this competition. It's so easy. 5% off, 2%, 1%. That means you rock up and you're a chance to get beat in those games, or go on the other and get the win. And as Nixie said there, the rooms are so much better when you're winning.
It was a great night. Strong win by the Adelaide Crows. 30-point victors over Port Adelaide. Quick break. Ken Hinckley's on the other side.
Lance Franklin was there to say farewell to everybody.
There's only one way to send off a Hawthorn legend. It involves a hovercraft. Johnny Platten.
For those younger people who actually don't know what a hovercraft is, it's a vehicle that goes on land and water, much like an e-bike.
So to this day, you have no doubt that was a goal?
No doubt. Oh, well. The front part, Wednesday night on 7.
You don't need to spend a lot for Mother's Day. As a mother myself, I know that I don't need an expensive gift, and Bunnies do have the lowest prices for things like that.
Ceramic clay pot, only $7.98. Fiskars Bypass Pruner, $37.50. Pinnacle Mobile Garden Planter, just $74.16.
Where you find a competitor's lower price on the same stocked item will beat it by 10%. Lowest prices are just the beginning.
Your electric experience starts with Mercedes-Benz. Save on a wide range of our all-electric models. Plus enjoy a complimentary Mercedes-Benz wall box and a $1,000 installation contribution. Take advantage of this offer and experience progressive innovation for yourself. Electric, crafted by Mercedes-Benz.
It's up to 40% cheaper. Double garages, $4,990. Triple garages, $8,600. 4-car garage, $7,250. Our 30% off sale is on right now at Best Sheds. American Barns from $8,900. Farm sheds, $11,990. Industrial buildings, only $18,600. Call Best Sheds on 1800 15 17 18 or check out our range at bestsheds.com.au.
Still more in store.
Charge through autumn with our MS180 chainsaw.
Save $50.
And our powerhouse MS500i Pro Saw.
Save $450.
Charge through autumn. Still only from Steel Dealers.
Ready? Steady!
He took my childhood. If you find him, he's mine.
Furiosa, a Mad Max saga.
There is no hope!
In cinemas May 23.
Looks good, eh?
Ken Earth.
What was that, love?
I said Ken Earth.
All done, girls. Happy? Ken Oath, all right. From big jobs to even bigger jobs, get the Ken Oath feeling.
Kenards make your job easy.
With an end of financial year mates rate of 4.99% with no deposit from Ram Trucks Finance. Now's the time to get into a new Ram with unrivaled Hemi V8 power. See your Ram dealer today.
Is this a pointless ad?
Well, if you're not an existing Telstra customer, it is.
Stupid ad.
The Toyota AFL Premiership season is brought to you by Telstra. This is footy country. Carlton Draft. Made from beer. Coles, proud partner of the AFL and AFLW. NAB, more than money. And Seabus Super, making hard work pay off since 1984.
Welcome back to the Adelaide Oval. Not a good night for Port Adelaide. Whilst they ran out with a 30-point deficit against the Crows, the injuries are mounting. There was plenty of conversations around this captain in Connor Rosie coming into this one. He was subbed out of the game ahead of the final term, and that is Todd Marshall limping off and Mitch Georgiades. Those players join Alia out with concussion tonight, Dale, but Sam Palpepper out for 12 months with an ACL injury as well.
Yeah, and the questions throughout the week will no doubt and continue tonight and probably start tonight as to why they risked Connor Rosie. A lot of speculation throughout the week whether or not he would play. I would have assumed if there was any doubt it would have been a no. So it's interesting.
Yeah, whether it was misdiagnosed, but to be honest, it's tough to know. Only the people within the club, and they said they weren't going to take a risk. There was no risk taken, and they went in, and I'm sure they'll stick with that.
Let's get to Ken Hinkley.
All right. Firstly, is it okay if I go first and mention the stance by the AFL tonight and the collective standing of the violence against women? And I think as a footy club, we've been supporting that program through our own club for a number of years now, 9 to 10 years of making sure that we stand up for that. I think it's a scourge on us as a society, and that we need to make sure we make this stance, we make it strongly together, and we stop this. It just has to stop. This is not something we should accept in Australia, and it's something tonight I'm proud of the AFL in the way that they took the front foot and made that stand out there tonight emotionally together as two clubs against this violence, and we have to stop it from there.
What went so wrong tonight, Ken?
Oh, we couldn't convert. We just could not convert. I mean, all the numbers that you like or want or need, you know, the reality is for us, that's been consistent, and we've been falling down too often in conversion. You know, whatever you want to say, the facts are we're not scoring at the level that we need to.
So what is that? I think Chad Corn said that you never put more work in.
That's 100% right. We've never put more energy into our conversion as a football club from the whole time of pre-season all the way through. That then says that, you know, there's a few things that might go into that then. It's game style, it can be personnel, it can be managing the stress of taking the opportunity. So I think there's 2 or 3 real things that we need to look really clear at because we can't keep ignoring the reality of I don't know what it was tonight, 5-18 or 6-8, I don't know what the number was. It's embarrassingly poor in front of goals.
How do you address that then, given something we've spoken about pretty much all year with Port Adelaide?
Yes, as I said then, Simeon, there's probably a couple of things. You got to go to game style for first and foremost. Are we getting the shots that we need to get in the positions that we need to get them? Have we got what we need in front of the ball to allow us to convert more often than not? And at the moment, the simple answer right here, right now, is the answer to both of those questions is no to what we've got in front of the ball, and yes to we need to look at the way we move the ball collectively through the ground and into our forward 50, and then not just be pleased that we've got 10 more entries than the opposition for I don't know how many times in a row.
What happened to your structure behind the ball early? They were obviously able to get you on the slingshot.
Yeah, I think we've seen Adelaide, what they did most of last year, and they're really good. I mean, they're really... everyone knows it. When they've been at their best, they're efficient pieces in front of the ball. We just talked around what some of the things that we haven't got. They've got some stuff up in the front with their ball movement that they can really capitalise on, and their efficiency of going forward at speed is a challenge for most clubs. And for us tonight, it was particularly first quarter. You know, I think it was 20 entries to 8 in the first quarter, and they kicked 5 goals. So, you know, you should be able to defend a little bit better because the ball's in your half a lot more, but we didn't.
Ken, the power of hindsight's a very powerful thing. Do you guys think you made a mistake playing Connor Rozee tonight?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, I made a mistake playing Connor Rozee tonight. That was clear. It was obvious. All the testing that we done, all the medical support we could get, all the information I could get was Connor was able to, and I seen it with my own eyes, he was actually able to run as fast as he needed to, kick as long as he needed to. But once fatigue set in tonight, that was clear. And, you know, I can try and hide behind that, but I'm not cowed when it comes to owning a mistake, and that was what it was.
So was that your call in the end?
Yep, my call.
So is it worse now? Same issue? Or?
It's no worse. It's no worse, but it's the same issue, which would suggest to me that if he had the week off, he would be better the next week. So.
Do you think you played on
Watch the headlines roll. I made a mistake playing Connor Rozee. Big statement there by Ken Hinkley.
Great honesty. All across the
Absolutely.
board. Are we getting the shots in positions to convert? The simple answer is no. You've got to love that. You've got to respect it.
Yeah, and I think they're going to hear that same message when they come back into the club and prepare for the next game that they got against the Cats.
That's big, isn't it? Next weekend, Friday night, down at GMHBA. They need a big scalp, don't they, Port Adelaide? In their wins, they've just kind of got over the line, whereas we need to see a really strong four-quarter performance for them to bounce back.
And for us to take them seriously as a footy club, they need to start rolling the tides inside the top 4 rather than just sort of, the flat track bully tag that's starting to be aligned with them. It's going to be mighty tough with the injury list they've got now. You pretty much say that Rozee will not play. They wouldn't risk that again. Good luck down there at the Cattery.
12 and 19 against top 8 sides since 2021.
Yeah, they're only numbers. Albeit you would love to have that result changed. It is numbers at the end of the day. They've got a period of footy now that they've got to get right over the next month, and that's going to be really important where they finish at the end of the year.
We cannot wait to wake up tomorrow. It is Friday night footy day, of course, but we turn on our screens for sunrise. Very special guest, Peter Dacos. Sure, he'll have plenty to say ahead of tomorrow's blockbuster.
Absolutely. We love what Dakes has done. His boys on fire as well, so they're going to have to be at their very best to take on and beat the Blues, who will go in chock-a-block full of confidence. They're playing some really good footy.
Well, it's going to be a tight game, Daisy. Have you got a side where you're leaning?
In all honesty, I'm leaning towards the Blues in this one. I just think at the moment they're rolling a touch better. They'll get their opportunities up forward. If it's a draw back-to-back for the Pies, I'd be delighted.
Now, you've played on this day on a few occasions.
It should be called the Dale Thomas Cup, shouldn't it? And this man, he made sure that he sent in his little highlights package
Well,
here.
I didn't. I rang up and said, could somebody clip up some highlights? They said, we've only got 5 minutes to finish the show. We'll only have to roll a few. They still haven't found Tyson Goldsack, they tell me. But look, I am Tex. I am playing clips of myself. That is a good question. I don't know who let this through, but it is a rivalry. I've lived both sides of it when we take the mickey a little bit, but it is as ferocious. We talk about it tonight, being on both sides of it. These are two sides that openly don't like each other, the supporter bases, and very rarely in recent time have the Blues been a big, big chance to rock up and roll the Pies comprehensively.
Imagine debuting in front of 90,000, Lockie Sullivan. That is a big one. And he's an incredible story as well. He's waited 6 years for this moment. He's won best and fairest. Footscray in the VFL hadn't quite been able to crack in and make AFL level. The Pies rolled the dice only 10 weeks ago, and now he's making his debut.
Contemplating going back to local footy to play with his mates.
Yeah, how good is that story? And he must have just shown up and put his best foot forward off the back of the couple of years that he's been winning best and fairest.
Both had a first-time experience here with the Showdown. Thoughts?
Loved it.
We'll be back.
Loved it.
Yeah. They'll have us back. We'll be back.
Well, I don't want to toot my own horn, but I did say in the pre-game that Crows were going to win by 30 points, and that is exactly what they have done here at Adelaide Oval. A ripping night of football. 52,000 people packed the stands at the Adelaide Oval.